group is literally on the backstretch.
They are.
One is on the front stretch. One is coming onto the backstretch. That's how they go off.
It's no joke. This show, I mean, when you have 160, 180 cars and you've got 5, 6 hours to get it in, and they get it in before curfew. I promise you, it is nuts. It's the craziest, most organized show that I've ever seen anywhere at any track in the country. It's amazing. But on top of all that, before we get too deep into the Bud Nationals, Mike Patterson, our California correspondent, he's working Santa Maria and Bakersfield this year. I gave him a challenge. And talk about a guy that steps up. This guy, he's a softball player, but to use the metaphor, he grabbed the bat and hit a home run for us. And I said, hey, look, here's the deal. Here's what we need for 2017. And I do it to you guys, too. Hey, let's get some sponsors for the show. Let's do this. And you guys have all done it. I mean, I am lucky to have you guys on my team to do what we do here on Spreaker Radio and at the racetracks with Moxie Media, from Sam to Sandy to, Joel, you here in the studio, all you guys. I mean, this is something that I've spent building for the last this is our 4th year now. And every year it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And this year, I think, was kind of the year that we exploded. I mean, it grew so fast. It's been a challenge to keep everything pointed the right direction. Am I right?
Absolutely.
I mean, on top of you, I mean, I got to tell you guys from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate every single one of you. I appreciate everything you've done throughout the course of the season. There's been times where it got tough. We had some interesting conversations, if you want to call them that. But you know what? We always come together and we get on the same page, and the results have been, I think, good for us, good for our sponsors, good for our listeners around the nation. Look at who we've had call in this summer.
Well, even not just the nation, internationally, and
right.
It's good for the sport.
It is.
It really is.
That's what we try to do. We try to do something good for the sport. But look at who we've had call in. I mean, we have had Kenny Wallace. I mean, Kenny Wallace called in on Northwest Dirt News to talk about the wrecks, safety, and how to handle. We had Doug Van Zant here in the studio. We've had Brian Thompson with Crocker's Cars. I mean, that's kind of how the whole thing led up to the call-in line being sponsored. Dave Stahl from Northwest Trucking. He's been here in the studio. We've had James Whitehouse in the studio. We've had a little bit of every type of racer in here or on the line this year. It's been an awesome season. And like I said, we've got one more deal to do live at the racetrack, and then we'll be back in the Jetstream Aqua Massage studio over the winter to bring news, to bring highlights. It's going to be fun. It's not.
That's right.
It's going to be a good deal. But again, you guys,
you got to remember too, race fans, is that upcoming. You talk about the indoor. Look what's coming up. The big indoor race for the midgets that is coming up. Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's coming just right around the block. I mean, that's going to be. We're going to have. We're
going to talk now. You guys know me. Look at Josh. He's already going. Uh-oh. You guys know me. I had an interesting conversation, and I'm not going to say any names because I am sworn to secrecy at this point.
You're burnout.
No, I promise. I haven't even. This has been hard to hide from you guys. Okay.
Wait. You've been hold on. You've been hiding stuff.
Because you know me. When I get news, when I'm excited, and I'll say, hey guys, if it's something I can talk about. But you know how that's one thing that you're good about, and Joel too, is like when you find something out and they say, hey, don't say anything. We won't know until the last minute what you've got hidden in your back pocket. Okay. What I've got in my back pocket,
I ain't got nothing.
I'm telling you right now, what I've got in my back pocket is big. Big. Okay.
Usually isn't that in the front?
Well, that's besides the deal. Here he goes. He's back. But I am not kidding you. What I have to talk about later, and we're gonna do it the right way.
Okay.
But Joel, it's gonna blow your mind. Okay. It's gonna blow your mind, and just remember what you talked about. Okay. That being said, again, thank you guys for everything we do, for everything that you do. I couldn't do this without you, and Moxie is just, a result of all your guys' hard work, and it's been a great season. That being said, going back to what I was talking about somebody who stepped up to the plate and taking challenges. Hey, Josh, we need a sponsor for the show. Hey, Josh, we need a sponsor for the Budweiser broadcast, the Budweiser Nationals, and they're still coming in. I'm still talking to a couple,
right,
pretty good sponsors that are, really thinking about, hey, we might jump on, and if they do, we'll talk about that, but I tell Josh, hey, go out and get a sponsor. Boom. He's got a sponsor. Josh, do this. And he just says, let's roll. I mean, that's what I like about Josh. He's just like, let's take the gloves off. Let's do it. It's cool. But Mike Patterson has stepped up big time down in California.
Yeah, he has.
And I'm just going to go ahead and break it. We have an official radio communication system on board now. Rugged Radios has jumped on board to be an official sponsor here at Moxie. And what they're doing for us is going to be great for what we're doing at the track. We will be having an entirely brand new radio communication system, courtesy of Rugged Radios down in California.
Dude, that's outstanding.
It is. It's great. It's great. Not that our radio system we have now is bad, but this is all going to be brand new through Rugged Radios, and they jumped in. They've heard our show. They've listened to Mike. Mike, spent some time with him, and he's worked his tail off getting this deal done. So and we'll have those available to us starting at the Budweiser Nationals.
That's outstanding, man. Mike does a ton of stuff, off air. He's down in California, and then him being down in California, is nice for us because that's where we're going. He's our number one contact now. To do it from up here, it is definitely hard. We're still getting an internet base and all that type of stuff down there and stuff. I've only said that 47 times now. And
look at Sam. Sam's ready to come over and just kick him right in the...
We're only 22 minutes into it, so God dang it.
We'll break that habit of it.
I hope so.
And hopefully some other stuff.
And stuff. I mean, it's,
So I'm going to go ahead and, publish that there on Moxie.
That's outstanding, dude.
It's cool. And Mike, I think we're going to have Mike on tonight at some point.
We are.
Let's get into the show. Let's talk Sunset. Your championship night. How did it go down there?
Well, our track was outstanding. Our track was beautiful and fast.
Okay.
It didn't dry slick. It was awesome.
How cold did it get there?
It got a little cold. But I'll tell you what, I wore my Moxie shirt all night long and didn't even put a sweatshirt on. Yeah, until we almost left.
Until qualifying ended.
Right?
Yeah, he almost left after qualifying.
Right.
He's not telling you that much.
Championship night presented by Finish Line Graphics. Dude, outstanding. We had a ton of classes. Let's start off with the newbies. 15 laps was their main event. Man, this girl, Cheyenne Long, once she's got into the BAT racing program, she's in the 39 car. This girl is pretty much the girl to beat.
Now, are these all female drivers in this division? Because
they are.
Far.
They are.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
There's 5 girls. There's 5 cars total. And what had happened is that...
But they're all young. They're all 14, 15 and under, 16 and under?
No, Cheyenne, I believe, is 19 or 20.
Okay, so she's still young.
Yeah, she's still young. All these girls and stuff are young. But what had happened is that mid-season, they were just getting ran over in the 4B class. A lot of people weren't, a lot of these girls and stuff weren't wanting to come out and run the 4Bs just because the simple fact is they're a lot faster, no experience. And so Nikki says, you know what, check this out. We're just going to go ahead and make a new class, right? And make it just for the, make it for the girls or make it for anybody that is just starting out. It doesn't matter if you're a girl, 60 years old or whatever the case is, guy. It doesn't matter. As long as you want to learn, this is a race to be able to learn. You'll still race with competition. You'll still race side by side, but it allows you to not be, quote, ran over, or, scared the hell out of when somebody passes you on the outside, you not know what to do. It's just like, somebody... learning how to drive a car for the first time. These guys are basically learning how to drive a car for the first time, and then in competition. So it's really good. You got Skittles Patalja. You have that's Chris's daughter. Bailey Jackson, she's another one that's really good. You have Sunny Sayre's daughter, Taylor Sayre. She's another one that's that's learning this new program. A lot of these girls and stuff have done, go-karts or some sort of other, racing before, but most of them haven't. This is the very first time ever in a stock car or any type of race car. This is a good class for them. But Cheyenne Long, man, this girl was the girl to beat. All week long, in the last, few races, she's been the one that's been in victory lane. Either Trophy Dash, Fast Time, main event, she's been the one. She's getting into this BAT racing car. And just basically taking it by storm and having no fear. She puts her head down, she sucks up against that steering wheel, and off she goes. I mean, you can't really see her because she's, little or nothing. But I mean, she's fast. She would basically take the 15-lap A main event after lap 5 over Bailey Jackson, run away with the show.
Gone.
Yeah, to end of the season stuff, that was a pretty good deal. All these girls, all these drivers, like I said, are all trying to learn. So, Pure Stock. Let's go into this. All right,
do it.
Pure Stock, 25 laps. This was an interesting race. Okay, we had a couple cars that have never raced there before show up. Okay, we had the 8 of Tanner Crawling. Okay, he took the lead on lap 1.
Where's he from?
I don't know. You're asking me questions and stuff.
All right.
My computer's not working, so
Okay, well,
I'm gonna give you the basics of whatever, and then
We're talking highlights on
we
this.
we can Google later.
We're going to do highlights on championship night, and then we're going to go into some other stuff. So let's roll.
Tanner Crawley would take the lead on lap number 1. On lap 4, Jimmy Biggs in the number 15. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We haven't heard about him lately.
Right.
He showed up. He would take the lead on lap 5. This is where it gets interesting. 3 wide. Okay, going down the backstretch, you would have Larry Brickshire on the outside, Kendall Lee in the middle, Trevor LaBarge on the inside.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Kendall Lee and Trevor LaBarge.
Okay, so going in.
Kendall Lee's in the middle.
Kendall Lee's in the middle.
Oh.
Kendall's not lifting.
He's not going to.
He's like, nah, dude, this is what's up. Yeah, nah. He says, you going to run me, I'm going to run you.
Uh-huh.
So Trevor LaBarge is on the inside. He's not lifting. Right, he's already got the championship wrapped up. That's all he had to do is just show up. Yeah, I mean, he didn't even have to show up. I mean, he had enough points. Kendall Lee, of course, finished second in points. Jimmy Briggs, man, this is the craziest thing. So, Jimmy Briggs is in second, or he takes over the lead, lap 5. Going into turn 3, they go 3 wide. Larry Brickshire on the outside, like I said. Kendall Lee in the middle. Trevor LaBarge on the inside. Kendall Lee, he holds his line, which then pushes Larry Brickshire in the 11 out a little bit. Okay? Well, when I say out a little bit, kind of bump over the cushion out of turn number 4, smacks the turn 4 front stretch wall. Tire comes off, ends his night. Now, mind you, this was the fastest car practically all night long. When he came up, he was extremely fast in 11X, or in the 11 white car. And just ended his night. The bad problem about it is the 8 car of Tanner Crawling was his buddy that he was trying to get around. He's the one that pushed him up into the wall. So this is the interesting. So we thought which would have been a kind of like an argument or whatever is Tanner actually stopped on the front stretch to apologize to Brookshire and say, hey man, my bad, and Justin's up in the tower saying, let's go, and he's still sitting there trying to tell me, you okay? But I mean, it was a good race. Basically, what happened is Kendall Lee then, after the caution came out, or after the green flag came out, he would hold the lead till lap number 9, and Trevor LaBarge was right there, pounced on him, drove away.
Trevor just drove away.
Drove away.
And that's Kendall Lee's fast.
He is. If he has a good night,
if you get the front, and you just drive away from Kendall Lee, you're rolling.
If he has a good night, he's he's up there. He's like he says, man. I come to race. I come to have a good time. I don't care where I finish as long as I'm having a good time, and I finish. That's all it's good.
That's the attitude right there.
That's it. And he's just he's just this hippie-go-lucky type guy, long hair, just cool dude. Finishes second in points, and Trevor LaBarge wins A main and wins championship night. Sport mod. Listen to this.
Okay.
A couple cars came down, but the biggest car that came down, the guy that was extremely fast, Jordan Branton from Central Point, Oregon.
That's a long tow.
Okay. Mind you, Jordan Branton comes up. He is also the Oregon State IMCA Sport Mod champion.
Okay.
Comes up to run with the boys. Says, you know what? I'm cool. Who is not in a Sport Mod no more? We know Michael Melton's not.
Right.
John Henry, though, is. Jordan brings up another buddy, but he was by far the class act when it came to this Sport Mod division. Won the heat race.
Has he been to Sunset?
Never been to Sunset before.
Just showed up and laid it down.
Just showed up and just put a whooping.
Really?
Yeah, it was like watching an A mod in a sport mod car. He's that good.
Wow.
Yeah,
could he run with the A mods?
No,
he couldn't run.
No,
with
they.
he couldn't. Could he run with them?
Oh, I'm sure he could have.
competitively
Oh, yeah,
with that car.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Really?
That car was sick. That car was fast. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, he was probably – I think his slowest time was probably maybe a half a second slower. Maybe. That's if he, that's if he screwed up.